We're just
We
rolling.
back, baby.
We back. Well, this is a special episode because we all know Casey's number in college, and something I always fight for is the number 9. So when we get to 12, you can
Numbers are special.
super special.
Why did you pick 9? Have we ever talked about this?
I was assigned 9 my freshman year of
Mm.
high school for volleyball. And then it was just
Fell in love.
stuck with me. Yeah. And then my birthday's on the 18th. I don't know if this counts, but
Yeah, yeah.
that's a multiple of 9. And then it just felt good. It just felt right. You told me in the past that there's some numbers, like ages, that are young and some that are old. So I want you to tell me a few of those numbers. But I'm like that with numbers in general. And I'm going to offend a lot of people. But like, I think number 1 and 2 are a little weird. 3 is great. 4, 50
So
50.
you're an odd
Love
girl.
5, don't like 6. Love 7. I can get on board with 8. Obviously love 9. 10, heck no. Weird. 11, yes, please. 12, I'm like 50 50 also. 13, I can get on board with like 14, 15, 16, 17. All weird. 17's okay. 18, 19 is one of the weirdest. And then I like 22 through 24. Or 21 through 24 are bangers. And then beyond that, don't get at me. But like for sports numbers, that's my rundown. So
We're like exact opposites,
of everything I just listed,
basically. I
how
don't like odd numbers,
that's crazy.
and you're like all about them.
I like even numbers a lot, but I still think some of them are weird. And you're right.
You didn't like any even numbers
You're so
below
right. Yeah.
20.
4, you get more 4.
Okay, 4.
And 12 and
Well, you're
18
50-50 on that one.
and
Okay,
18.
fine. Below 18.
But you're right. That's true.
I'm with you. 1 is weird. 2 is like whatever. Don't like 3. I don't like small numbers is part of the problem.
No.
I didn't have to be, but I was 10 in high school. I hated it because a girl a year older than me was 12. And I was like, so, and we couldn't, like, it was high school, so it was just printed numbers already. So it's not like I could go pick. Like, I would have done 27 for my birthday. That's like my next favorite number. But
2 plus
didn't go,
7.
didn't go that high. Yeah. So then I was just like, well, I didn't like
So
11.
what are
So
ages? 11's, yeah, I like 11 a lot. What are the ages that you think are young and old?
it's not necessarily what I think. It's become a consensus on the internet, and I agree with this consensus. And I don't think I could tell them to you verbatim. Like, I don't even know where to start. 19 feels like 18 is, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. Start at like 20, like 24 is old, 25 is old, 26 is young, 27 is young, 28 is old, 29 is old, 30 is old, 31 is old, but 32 is young, 33 is young, 34 is young, 35 is old, 36 is old, 37 is old, 38 is young, 39 is old, 40, I don't know.
Young.
I don't know. From
I've
there.
seen those videos and I don't even care what anyone says, whether, like, I just cannot get on board with that. I think numbers in general, people can, but also a lot of people believe in this, what we're talking about with the ages and that.
Yeah.
Like, I work very, like, linear with when
I
it
know.
comes to ages. It's the same way actually when you think about months. Have you heard of this thought before? How when you think of the months of the year, draw it out, and mine goes like starts with January and then just in order until December is at the bottom. But some people look at it as like a circle.
No, it's just like a flip page calendar for me.
Oh, see, that's interesting. You're like a whole, every month is its own then for you.
Yeah.
Because
What?
when I think of the like months in general, it's like in one goes straight down list. January, February, March, April, May, June.
So they're not separate for you at all?
No.
I don't know what that means.
When you think like people just look at calendars, like the months, not the calendar, sorry, just like the months of the year,
Yeah, but like what is combined about January and February to you?
part of the year.
Okay. Valid? You're not wrong.
So but even then, like we have very different answers. Like mine's a
It's because I'm
list,
visual.
and I think I am too, but in some ways we're probably different. Like in volleyball specifically, like that's how I thought about my learning style. I never really got on people for not paying attention during the descriptions of drills because I was that kid that was always like thinking about something else until either I had to do it or had to watch it in person. And so like I was an audible learner, just yeah, more so visual or
Audible is the
physical.
worst for me.
Yeah,
You
most
want to,
people.
that's why, as we're doing a podcast, podcasts are really hard for me.
Is making a podcast easier for you than listening to one?
Oh,
What?
yeah. That's why I'm insistent on the video because if I'm gonna listen to a podcast, I would watch it with a video. I don't want to
Gotcha.
just listen to it.
And I guess some inside information for our listeners. She was like, "We're gonna have a video." I was like, "What? Hi."
Podcasts do that. We
Exactly.
sure do.
How? And then I was like, "I don't care. You find the platform and just sign me up. Whatever I need to do." So you crushed that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't care about videos. Well, I actually talked about you the other day because I remember you and you need to elaborate on this and explain yourself. You were like, I cannot talk on the phone and drive. That's what you said.
Yeah, not about like an important car or like a. I believe you that I said that. I don't know what have I done it recently with you that I was like,
No, I just remember you saying this because I was like, oh, I have a really long drive. And you're like, I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you talk on the phone and drive. I can't. I was like, what are
okay,
you
because
talking
you have
about?
like work calls. Like you would take work calls on long
Mhm.
drives, and I'm like, if there's certain things that I need to hit in a conversation, I'm not gonna remember just sitting there. Like I would need like notes or whatever like pulled up to remember to hit all the bullet points or like I can't do that while I'm driving.
Hmm. If I called you just wanting to chat and you were
Yeah.
driving, could you got it? I totally took that as like, I was like,
No.
I think yeah, when I've driven with her, we've had conversations.
Yeah. Yeah. But there are times that if I'm like lost or in a new place, I can't have a conversation because I'm like I gotta lock in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally get that. Totally get that. Do you know what I thought about? Let's see if you can read my mind. I'm sure you can when I thought about long drives with you. There's
When
another
I
thing that
get
just
in
popped in
road
my head.
rage.
No, but that's a good one. That's not what I thought about. Hold on. It's actually kind of ironic now looking at you because you're super calm as a person, but the road rage that you get is top tier.
That's what I just said.
I know. I just
Oh.
no. I
It's
was
like
I was just saying. Now that I'm looking at you, no, that's not what I was thinking of.
okay. Oh yeah, it's in there. That's where it comes out. That's what enables me to be here like this.
You gotta make sure you're driving somewhere in the next few days to get it all out.
Yeah.
No, it's not your road rage. You get one more guess,
Thinking about long drives.
just with us, like that I've taken with you.
I mean, we've done a few.
I'll give you a hint.
The only other thing that's coming to mind is the groups of animals.
Animals, yeah.
Yeah.
It was Oreos.
Yeah, that's also blocked out. She limited me to one Oreo an hour on a 6 hour car ride.
I sound like a
A
control
control
freak.
freak. Let me live my life.
Okay, so Berkeley and I are very different when it comes to self-control, specifically with food. And it's also like a joke with you because you really could eat anything you want and be perfectly fine. But I have extreme self-control, and I think that's what is super interesting about me is like once I make up my mind, it's like it's not happening, and it's something with food. And so like I will not eat the most amount of Oreos I've had in one sitting is four.
See, but this is the difference. I also have self-control, but I don't care how many Oreos I eat. You care how many you eat. If I cared, I could stop. But
I believe
why?
I believe that. At this I can tell you why.
It brings
Because
me joy.
it's not good to eat 15 Oreos.
It
So
is when you're depressed. Sorry, it's a bit dramatic.
what? It took a turn so fast. Were you depressed sitting in the car with me eating Oreos?
Yeah, this is my way of telling you. No.
So I
Come
was just like,
on.
okay, I'm gonna help Berkeley with self-control. This actually changes things, this conversation so far, because I didn't have this understanding before. So I was like, okay, she like wanted more
If I was
like,
worried about health and like digestion and like being in shape,
yeah,
then that
and you're
wouldn't
not.
be
Yeah,
how
you
I'm
don't
eating
need
food.
to. So anyway, every hour on the hour, I gave Berkeley another Oreo. So funny. Turned into a really good story, but
Anytime I eat multiple Oreos in a row, I think of as Casey would hate this.
no, it's not. Time out. Time out. It's not about eating multiple Oreos in a row. Like I will have two. I actually, did you know this about me? In order for me to enjoy something a lot, I eat them super fast. Like watch me at a Mexican restaurant eating chips and salsa. You cannot get a word. Before you've finished a few sentences, I already have digested 10 chips. Like
That's like counterproductive,
so
intuitive.
fast. Like I will, but then I will eat them like really fast and then I'll be done for the rest of the meal. Like I don't want, you know how some people will like eat chips over the course of the whole meal. And so like I love to eat my like three or four Oreos right away all together. Like I hate spacing it out. So like that was the other thing too, is like when we had them together every hour, Trust me, I freaking hated that. It was more so of like three or four in my mind, because there's this hard line. Not gonna lie to you, in my mind, like three or four, yes. Like more than like six, seven, eight, nine, 10. Whew, that's making me sweat thinking about it all at once. So
Yeah, I've just never had food rules. Like I've just
yeah,
never
yeah.
because
Which
I
is
never wanted that relationship with food. I didn't want to worry about weight. I didn't want to worry about the way I looked. Like food, you
yeah,
need food to be healthy. And like the other way was like if I went the other way, I like wouldn't eat food. And
yeah.
so I'm like I can't
So you
go
just
that
see
way.
that makes sense. I got you. And that's just knowing yourself. And I'm with you. I think that food is, I don't think, like, I know that food is fuel and I don't have a negative relationship with it at all.
Okay, speaking of food, I hate to cook, and you know this about me. I have recently discovered an air fryer. Have you ever used an air fryer?
Of course, I have. I have strong opinions, per usual.
Love.
Tell me what you love about it.
It's an oven, but faster.
Yeah, they heat up super fast,
You don't even preheat it.
right?
Just throw those
Heat up
suckers in there,
raw.
and in 12, 15 minutes, you have food.
Yes. What are you making in air fryers?
Everything. I've done salmon, I've done shrimp, I made a burger in
Cool.
there. I've done, what else have I done? Chicken, broccoli, peppers,
Oh, okay. Got
all
it.
the
Yeah,
things.
you really are making everything. So you're okay now with cooking because of air fryers.
I mean, it's not
Or
like the love of my life or the joy of my life, but like it makes making food way better.
like, oh, you don't mind it. It instantly was like, I'm not saying that. Don't get me wrong.
All
I
I'm saying
still
is I
hate
don't
it.
want to pull my hair out every time I have to eat a meal.
That's good. This is really good news. Do you like leftovers? Because that's my
Absolutely.
secret to cooking. It's because I'm with you. It's like the whole process and we do it because we have to, but like,
I'm to the point in the season where I'm over food. I don't want to eat.
because well, also because you eat out probably a lot with
No,
traveling and
actually, I
stuff.
have, well, yeah. This team is different than past years. They do a lot of team meals. So, like, yes, like when we show up somewhere, we'll eat at a restaurant as a team, but then most of our meals are like at the hotel. So, but like, yeah, that's different than like eating at home. But I actually haven't eaten out very much at all during the season. Like, I have, well, when we're at home, I have made, well, in the beginning of the season, I was doing this like meal prep thing with a company here. I would go and buy like weekly so many meals, but still that was like made fresh weekly. And, but yeah, now I'm cooking
Heck yeah. Thanks to our air fryers.
air fryers.
The reason
Oh
why I don't
no.
like it is, well, I've had one and it's kind of sad. Like I've had one for probably three, I don't have one with me now, but in the course of my life for like 3, 4 years, and I maybe used it twice, 3 times.
Well, Kenyon had one at our parents' house and it sat there, like he would use it once
Yeah,
in a while, but like I think yeah, unless you're actively using it all the time, I think you'd forget about it or get
yeah,
into other
exactly.
things that you're used to eating.
Right. You nailed it. The thing that was really hard for me is, do you like sweet potatoes?
Hmm.
Okay. Try sweet potato sliders. So you get a fat sweet potato, and then I made these things in the air fryer, and you cut them into like these are the buns. So instead of bread, it's like sweet potato burger, sweet potato. And the thing that really, and at the time, like cooking for 2 people, and these sweet potato burgers are like, the size of my palm. So I could have 3 or 4 easily. So to make, and then they each come with 2 buns. And so, no joke, it was like probably 4 rounds of making these sweet potatoes. And so I just got really sick of it because it took so much time to keep putting in these, like cooking the sweet potatoes because it's so small. And obviously, that's why it heats up so fast. So, or like, say, for example, if you're making fries in there, because they all got to be an even, they can't be on top of each other because otherwise, how's the air fryer going to do its job? And so I think if you're cooking for one
That's what
person,
I was gonna say. That's why I like it.
that's great. So maybe I do need to have one again. But I
Yeah,
use it with two
solo
people. I was
meals.
like, this
Yeah,
is a waste of time.
it does cut down on my leftovers, but it's okay. I don't have a ton of leftovers,
And you can make it so fast.
but yeah.
Stupid thing. If you, I never thought about chicken, like putting it in there. You put it in raw and it cooks it.
Yeah,
Probably was making, I think chicken's really hard to make. Like you
yeah.
can put it in, like if you're thinking about the stove top and it's so hard to cook it all the way through. And I'm terrified of raw chicken.
Morgan has found these like they are breaded chickens, like frozen breaded chicken patties from this like company that's really good with like real foods and like real meats and just like good ingredients. And so we've done that more than just raw chicken. It's
Mm,
like frozen and these breaded patties, but they're really good.
that's cool. Air fryer, shout out.
I know. It's a
Whoever
game
made
changer.
it, incredible. That thing is a recent
I know.
invention. So
It's
it's legit.
amazing.
So based on our last podcast, need to
Hmm.
ask you a question about the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. You being LDS and then seeing the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives as a show, do you have a message to share with the world?
I do
Or
have to say I've never watched the show, so I actually don't know much about it. I have gotten bits and pieces, I feel like, from social media, but so again, take this with a grain of salt because I don't even actually know how many of them are active members, but it doesn't seem like very many of them are. So like the things that are being portrayed on that show are just like not what our religion is about.
Mhm.
And it's just like a marketing grab to throw the word Mormon in that title, truthfully.
Yeah. When the show first came out, which I've seen probably around 3 episodes, and it is so much drama that it's just sickening. It's like I feel like my brain cells are
Yeah.
evaporating into thin air.
Well, I mean, like, aren't half of them like swingers or like sleeping with each other's husbands? Like, that's what I
That
feel like.
was the rumor, but it's actually not.
Okay,
Yeah, I think they got famous because
that's what people thought
that
was
was a
happening.
rumor, right? Which they say sex sells, so it
Yeah,
worked, but in real they like addressed that in the first few episodes. That's when I stopped watching. So from what I
sex
remember,
wasn't selling.
yeah. From what I remember. And I just remember actually thinking, like, I don't think a lot of people know what the religion Mormon is and like what LDS, like what they stand for, their morals and their values and all these things. Because personally, like, people who are of that faith, in my opinion, are some of the nicest people I've ever met. And actually, Utah is known for that. Like, people who have lived all over the country, the amount of people that have said Utah is the best place to live because every people are so nice because the concentration of course, of Mormons that are there. And I was like, I feel the exact same way. I think it's a very nice state. I really shouldn't even talk about this because I think that Utah is a hidden gem and I don't want it to become a California, but I think that it is the hidden gem of the country. It's beautiful, nice people, safe. I mean, for the most part, of course, it's just all of these things. And so, like, watching that show is like, this is not portraying
Hmm.
LDS members very well. And like, although I'm not LDS, like I'm frustrated. I feel like I couldn't have that much of a feeling, but I was like, I'm frustrated for them because
Yeah.
people are just going to think that if this is all they know about Mormonism, like this is what is true,
Yeah.
instead of having their own experiences with people.
Yeah, I think Mormons just in general get a bad rap, and like, there's certain things they get talked about a lot, like the no drinking, no coffee, sex before marriage, which is like common in other religions, but like that's a big one. And what other one? Like, I don't know. Those are the big ones. I feel like people immediately know about Mormons, and they think Mormons get married young and have a lot of kids, which like I don't actually know the statistic, but like I'm sure there are more Mormon people that have bigger families than people who aren't. I don't know.
Minus the
But like
Catholics.
yeah, so yeah, I don't even know. But I just think the biggest thing is people also like fight that Mormons are Christian, but like that was like a big push in our church for a couple years is that it's not like a big deal to call us Mormon or LDS, but we are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Like we believe in Jesus Christ and he is like the head of our church. Like that's who we follow as members of the church. It's not and we put a big heavy thing on having like a prophet of our church, but we think he's just like the mouthpiece and like kind of the leader, but he's not the one, really making the calls. We believe that getting revelation from Jesus Christ or like from our Heavenly Father. And again, that's why it's like hard to have conversations about this show too, is like they have every right to do whatever they want to do and honestly still call themselves Mormons because it's like, yes, there's like rules and guidelines, but that's part of life and religion is there to like get you through your struggles and challenges. And so it's okay to mess up and come back to church. Like you're allowed to do that. And I think we get a rep sometimes of that if you make a mistake, you're shunned, but it honestly becomes like an individual thing of like shame and guilt, and you like, extricate yourself and like separate yourself. And then there's hurt feelings and offense being taken, but that's not the reality. Like you're allowed to mess up and then come back to church.
That was
Like
awesome.
I hope that that's what people take. Like
Yeah,
that's what I think our religion is about. And
that's awesome.
yeah,
Thank you so much for sharing. I'm just really I'm in awe of just how you phrase that, and that's a big reason why I love you so much. And I think if people took the time to get to know you specifically, that they would see someone who's really intelligent, someone who is well spoken, someone who I think you are super grounded just in how you think. And I just appreciate our conversations for many of those reasons.
well, it's been funny living here in Michigan and being on like dating apps. And I've flip-flopped back and forth a lot of telling someone that I'm Mormon, telling them I'm not, because I'm like, it doesn't really matter to me whether they are or not. I just hope that there's a belief in God, you know? But a lot of people have issues with me being Mormon and like things like that. And so I've had two people, I went on a date with someone and they found out I was Mormon and were like, oh, sorry, no more. And then I was talking to someone else and was like, just to be clear, in case you missed it, like the last guy on the profile, I'm Mormon. And he's like, and then like unmatched me immediately. And so like there's been a lot of people out here in Michigan that are like not cool with it. So I had a teammate that she's like, I love looking at dating profiles. So she was like, I was like, go ahead, change mine up, mess around, whatever. And so she had changed one of the prompts on there and she's like, something you should know about me is I'm Mormon. It's not that weird. And then parentheses, I'm not trying to convert you. And it's been so funny, some of the responses we've gotten to that. Like, it kills
Oh
me.
my
'Cause I'm like, I'm
God.
not trying to convert you to my religion, but if you need to know, here it is. But I wish that that wouldn't be the deciding factor of if you got to know me or not, you know?
Seriously. Do you have some of those examples that come to mind of responses?
Oh, one of them was like try your best, go ahead, like try and convert me basically. And then we had this conversation about like, I've got a 2 hour PowerPoint ready for you whenever you want. Like it was pretty funny. And,
That's good.
um, just like little things like that. I don't, that was the funniest one, but the other ones were like, oh, it's cool. Or like, oh, I have a family member who is, or I know someone this and things like that. But that one was pretty funny. Like you can try.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, something, a couple of things besides just, I think, and obviously this is a stigma and a generalization, but I think that Mormon people are super nice. I think another big takeaway that I had was how different people, and again, this is a generalization, but it's still a common
Mhm.
theme, how different people who are from Utah who are Mormon are compared to basically the rest of the world. It's like very different.
Yeah.
They're a lot more strict if you're from Utah in the sense of like following things to a T. Like having players, for example, that are 23 years old who've never seen a rated R movie or like never even said the word ass and never will in their life. And obviously all the rest of the words that come with it. And it's not judging them in any way, shape, or form. It's just more so intriguing to me, like how different it is if you're a Mormon who are, and again, there's of course outliers, but just as a general theme.
Yeah. I think there's the pros and cons of having a concentrated group of Mormons and members of the church like there are in Utah versus in other places. Like even Vegas, where I've grown up, there's a heavy population. In Arizona, there's a lot. I think California has a good amount, probably in certain cities
Yes.
and stuff, but in different places, there's not as many, like, people who are like, I grew up and I was the only one in my high school or things like that. So, like, I think when you have those people who know what your standards are of your church and like how you like the direction you should be living your life or are asked to live your life. And then when you don't do it and you mess up, it becomes this like defense thing of like, well, now you're messing up. And then everyone's trying to be like, well, you're not perfect and you're not perfect, but we're going to pretend to be perfect. And it's like this judgment becomes like, if we're trying to be as Christ like as possible, we shouldn't care.
Yeah, exactly.
So, because like one of my mom's favorite things to say is, we believe it's a perfect church, right? So it's a perfect church run by imperfect
With
people. And
people.
like,
Yeah.
most people leave because they've been offended by a person and like something they said to them and not because of, the teachings and the doctrine. And so,
Yeah. And I think that's a really challenging part with religion and
yeah.
God and Jesus. Like, yes, I agree. Like, Jesus is perfect, but the people who try to talk about Jesus' love and be an example of Jesus, people are emotional, complex beings. And unfortunately, can, of course, like steer people towards God, but also can do the opposite. So, I'm with you. It becomes a challenge, but thanks for sharing your
Thanks
thoughts.
for asking.
So, yeah, you're so welcome.
Have you done your taxes?
You know me.
I know. She waits till the last second
I
and
think.
asks for, can you give me a little more time? What did you do that first time? I feel like you told me a story of like, I don't remember what it was now, but did you not need more time or you just did it
In
literally the
general,
last?
like in the past,
Yeah, the first time you did it. I thought you had a funny.
yeah, I've asked for an extension multiple
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
That's
it's pretty funny because to me it's like I just need another month or like 2 months. They're like, here's six. Here's a whole half year in October. Does that work for you? Yes, I can get them done now, okay? I was more proud of myself because I have a larger capacity with my work-life balance. I started thinking about my taxes in February.
wow.
So the good news is it's better. Is the result any different at the moment? No. So hopefully by this time next year, it also is a little more complicated in my brain because, living in two different states for that year.
And do you do them yourself?
Not, I mean, if it was just like the W-2 and getting it from my work, I totally would file it, but it's just like a lot more complex. And then I don't know
Hmm.
about like a house and blah,
I
blah,
don't
blah.
ever want to do it on my own. I will always gladly
Yeah,
pay somebody to do it.
that's hilarious. Right. And I respect you for that. Yeah, I really do. I met the surgeon last week and her dad just drilled into her head that she has one of three options for her careers in her life and literally like had no choice but to choose one of these three. And it was surgeon, lawyer, or CPA. I was like, yeah, people always need to do their taxes. That's right. So just how you said, I will always pay someone. I thought that CPA being in the same ballpark as surgeons and lawyers was funny to me. But
Yeah.
yeah, taxes. I even thought about it today. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I think about what happens. I think about all the other things that need to be done. Like I have trainings for work that need to get done today. I wanted to talk to you. I'm coaching later on tonight. I had promised another friend that I would call them. I need to clean for friends visiting. Like that's my life. And it's just like, to me, those are all more time sensitive than taxes being due. Whether that's the right way of thinking or not, that's how I think.
I'm scared of going to jail. So,
You can
to
ask for an
me, not
extension.
doing, maybe not in my brain, not doing taxes equals tax fraud and going to jail. So I'm like, I will get those done.
See, that's why you do them. My consequences in my head are, okay, what's the worst that can happen? I ask for an extension until October. That's the worst that can happen. Oh, I don't need to do that. Like, I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So that's
I
why.
did mine in February. Well, but here's the thing. They're not actually done yet because this is annoying. Whoever I got connected to on H&R Block, she only works weekends. And I was like, I work weekends. And so like we can't have so she's been waiting to like have a phone call with me to like debrief. And I'm like, no, can you just file them? Like it's not that complicated. I believe that you did it right. Just file it. So it's taken till like this week actually to like get them filed.
Did that make you nervous?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's hilarious.
A little
You're
bit.
just better than me in a lot of ways with that. That's actually, I mean, that's a big reason why I'm like, I need
Or
Berkeley
I'm
because
more fearful than you.
that is true. But
I'm more of a rule follower than you is the real
yes,
the bottom line.
yeah, you are. But I think that we all have our strengths, and right now, your strength
Is being
is
on my
winning,
taxes.
is superior than me not being afraid of the rules.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm a rule follower in any way?
When I think rule follower, you're not the name that comes to my mind.
That's not the
Like that's hold on. I'm only saying that because this past like week or 2 weeks, we have one teammate. I don't even know how to start the story because you don't know her, but she is type A, like 45 minutes early to anything, like needs to have like just is ready to go on it. She also is married and has a child, so like her life is a little bit more complicated and different than
impressive.
everyone's. But whatever, she is a type A. She'll be the first one to tell you that. There was one day in practice where we have another teammate who is like literally the exact opposite. Shows up like 2 minutes before practice starts, not ready to go, walk in with a bag, puts her shoes on, ready to practice is starting, like that type of person. And so she walks in one day, um, and the first teammate is like, we were talking about how this teammate that walks in late, we're like, she's just so unbothered. And so this other teammate, she's like, I'm like pretty unbothered for the most part. Someone like looked at her and she's like, when I think of unbothered, I do not think of you. And she just like burst out laughing. She's like, you're absolutely right. I am not unbothered. And so that's been like this running joke the last 2 weeks. She'll like do something where like, it's because you're so unbothered,
Bothered,
Like it's
yeah.
just like,
I love that. That's really cute. I'm so
yeah.
unbothered. You got here 45 minutes early. That's good. It's not
Yeah.
that do I come to mind, it's more so like in any way. Do you think I am a rule follower?
You follow the speed limit.
In comparison to what you?
Yeah.
I mean, when I was a coach, like NCAA rules, I was all over. So like I think it depends. If there's I was about to say if there's a large repercussion, I'll follow the rules, but apparently not with taxes. Again, it's
Taxes.
just because there's an extension. If they did not give me an extension, these would have been done weeks ago. Like
That's
for
what I'm like,
sure.
yeah. If you can find an out to a rule, you're gonna take it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's called working smarter. Okay?
Yeah, great. I'm lazy. It comes back to this conversation. I'm efficient and effective in a lot of things because I'm lazy. I want to get it done quickly so I can be lazy. You just, nah, I'm gonna find a way to outwork the system. I'm like, I don't want to outwork it. I want to be done now, not think about it.
Yeah. I actually want to support your way of thinking because like again, friends visiting And I just like, instead of cleaning my place all at once, I've just been like little things at a time. And like, so, them coming tomorrow, it's like most things are done. And I'm not
Mhm.
like panicking right now about it, thinking of things I need to do. And that literally is why the book Discipline Equals Freedom exists.
Mhm.
Because like the more disciplined you are, or the more freedom you have, like physical,
Well, it
mental,
was so
emotional.
funny. For a long time, I really struggled with the concept of like self-love early on when it became like, that
Hmm.
like just a buzzword that we use all the time, like
Yeah.
really early. And I'm like, self-love to me is not sitting down and taking a bath. Like, that's just like, I don't know, free time. Like, I don't, and I finally had read somewhere and it like clicked in my brain that this was how I thought about it. Like to me, self-love is I'm gonna clean this right now so I can sleep in tomorrow for 30 more minutes. Or I'm gonna do my taxes now so I'm not stressed about it in the end of March. Like whatever it is, like that's self-love to me. You're caring about the future you when you know things could be crazy and hectic and I have time now, I'm gonna make it happen because I don't want the future me to have to deal with this when life could be crazier.
You may have just changed someone's life with what you just said. So that's why we're here. That's why we have these conversations to share our thoughts. They could be good ideas, they could be bad ideas, but in general, they're just ideas. Take them or leave them.
And that's a wrap.